to wait until the live dashboard shows that we're live. And the chat actually shows Bangkok Ian, who isn't here. He says hi, Mark, but the live stream is healthy, and I'm live, and I've been online for about 15 seconds now.
Hey.
And I can see us, and if all goes right, I'll get my iPad and I'll send you the link.
Fantastic.
Okay, welcome people.
Just talk amongst ourselves. Right.
Yeah, these live chat things are always a bit weird.
I wouldn't even attempt one of these. I have enough trouble talking to somebody on the phone, never mind.
Yeah.
Nonsense. How's the quality? It's just using an iPad microphone.
Excellent.
That's good.
It's excellent. I'm not sure. It shows, but
Wait a minute. Right, I can now. I'm not sure. You can maybe see that's the live link up there.
Yeah. So that's the whole fancy setup that you're experiencing here.
Put the sound. Kill the sound in it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can actually read the comments.
No.
No.
Listen, doesn't matter.
No.
You can read the comments anyway.
Well, if there's at least one person watching, and that's you.
I'll just come off actually.
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna go my way.
Yeah.
How the hell are you?
I'm doing great. I'm actually drinking a non-alcoholic lager, Amstel.
Well, it was Mountain Dew at first. Apparently that's what according to my daughter, all the geeks drink Mountain Dew. Have you ever tried it?
Yeah, it's I don't like it. I don't like these carbonated, sugary. No, you might as well go for a heart attack right away or diabetes.
In fact, it was a good self-mark that posted that thing about Coca-Cola. I've seen that before. How after 20 minutes it goes into the whatever it is, and it's quite feeling actually when you read these things.
It's far worse than you actually think, and of course it's a bit on the scary side to ruffle people up a bit, but it's true. It's actually quite dangerous stuff.
Yeah. Do you actually drink many sugary drinks?
I try not to. I try to be. I should be healthier. I just had actually. I'm walking around with a Nintendo. Yeah.
Look,
I should.
Oh, right. What's that?
It's a Nintendo step counter, and it comes with a little app, and you have to walk at least 8,000 steps a day in order not to totally keel over and die instantly. So no, but that's the bare minimum. So you really have to walk quite a bit actually every day to stay healthy.
So does it tie into some Nintendo console?
Oh yes, it ties into this little beast.
Oh, right, okay.
It's my old Nintendo 3DS, and it's actually a DS game, and it's called Walk With Me.
Walk with me.
Walk with me, and I'll show it to the feed in the camera.
I'll try to lean forward. All right, okay.
I'm not sure if you can actually see.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that pretty well actually.
Like so. Well, you actually you can check your rhythm, and there's a little me. Well, yeah, it's white balance is all off, but it has the DS has an IR port, and it communicates over an infrared, and it keeps track of your daily activities, and it sort of gives you encouragements and stuff. It's actually quite nice. It's a nice little personal coach in a way.
But I was going to say it's a Nintendo flavour of Pokemon, but that was technically Nintendo anyway, wasn't it? Pokemon Go. Did you try that at all?
I've installed it on my phone, and I tried it when I was sitting on the toilet. That's what you do. And then you just see a Pokemon in your bathtub and you flick a ball at him. And then I looked at it in my little town, in my little village. There was just no Pokemons whatsoever. If you live in a rural area, there's no Pokemon. So I long tapped the icon, and I clicked the little cross for the installation, and it's been off my phone ever since, I think. Yeah.
Well, my daughter, she's right into it. I mean, she's been playing it for about, well, she's been playing it really since it was released. And then when we were on holiday a couple of weeks ago, we stopped for something to eat, and she said she couldn't log in, she was trying to log in. She said I had to end up kind of restarting the thing, but you know, at the end of the day, it's, you know, video games gets quite a bad press. I mean, there are a certain populace who sit in front of their Xbox and they just play Call of Duty non-stop. If it actually gets, I mean, I'll say to my, when you watch what I'm seeing here for the dogs around it, if I say I'm going to take the dogs for a W, a walk, I'll say to my dog, do you want to come out? No, I'll stay in. But in the last few weeks, I can come out and I'll catch some Pokemon. So it's encouraging her to get out the house.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the big thing. It's good that people actually start to get up and walk about. And but the sad part is that people also wander into. I mean, you're encouraged to look at the screen of your phone, and you just walk about in strange places that you've not been before, just staring at your screen. And people do crazy stuff. A 16-year-old walking in front of traffic and blaming Pokemon Go. People trespassing and getting shot. That was perhaps a hoax, but yeah. Yeah, I think it's a nice gimmick, but it's not really that different from the augmented reality cards with the 3DS. It's just a gimmick, and it's not even a proper game. Sorry if I offend any Pokemon Go lovers, but it's not something that it's buggy, it crashes, and I've seen enough of it not to like it actually. So
yeah. I know one of my friends, he takes part in geocaching or something. Geocaching.
Oh, yeah, but that's not that's nice. No, but geocaching is nice because you get to trail around, hunt for a treasure, and basically take out something out of a little cache and put something back in. It's more or less treasure hunting, but I mean you're in reality. You're observing your surroundings and.
Yeah.
It's a different ball game, no pun intended.
So how do you actually get to know where something is? How would you know when there's treasure? What interface do you use to...
Well, it's actually something that Elise and I still have to try out someday. I actually will not be able to give you an answer on that. Perhaps the one viewer that we have is actually able to answer us, but that's you!
The funny thing is, I think we've spoken about this before, it's actually my mate Mark and Elise who do it. Namesake, so there you go.
Yeah, I mean, we have a friend who does it, but we've never really extensively talked about it. And from what I understand from it, it's actually quite neat. So yeah, I would like to give that a go sometime.
Again, if it encourages people to get out and get a bit of fresh air, then I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I do, as you probably know, I do a bit of running.
A wee bit.
There's a thing called park run. Does that exist? It probably does. I know it's in Poland.
Yeah. It does. It does exist in the Netherlands as well. I mean, they do have a lot of running clubs and also contests and stuff.
That was something you make quite a good runner. I think you'd be kind of Usain Bolt of it.
Well, I have a long stride, but I'm also quite heavy set. And I do my muscles. They're weird because I played a lot of volleyball, and but my muscles I tend to bulk up incredibly. So I really have to. I have a lot of slow muscles, and I get very slow, and so I really have to train for speed. And whenever I do endurance, I just become this Hulk-like, slow, big person that I just don't want to be. So, so that's a bit of a downer.
So exercise wise, what do you actually do? I mean, you're not overweight, so yes.
Well,
Is
I appear not overweight. No, I should. I mean, I should better talk about what I should be doing. I played a lot of volleyball, and I walked quite a bit, and I biked quite a bit, but I haven't been doing it, and that's because of all these crazy shifts that I've been pulling, and it makes you feel tired a lot. And yeah, that's actually not something. Hey, we got a second watcher. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello. Make yourself known, please. And it'll take about 5 minutes for any comment to appear, I believe. But
so to see your shifts in, Mark, without going into too much detail, I mean, what's your shift pattern? When do you manage the shifts?
Yeah, well, it's actually changing because there's a shortage of junior doctors, which actually means that I have to do the horrible primary non-on-call shifts also. That used to be just a part of my shifts, but it's about every Wednesday. I work the Tuesday and then I get to sleep, and then Wednesday I start working and I stop Thursday evening. So it's like a lot of the time it's like well, what is it? 24 plus 9. So. And then often it's a weekend, and it's often the Sunday, which is 24 hours.
Really? Wow.
And yeah, you get used to it, but I always find it very nice if I don't have to if I don't have to pull a shift. I think someone.
Yeah, does that noise here?
I think I'm gonna kill Facebook. Yeah. Facebook is just making a lot of noises then, and that's interfering. So. Ah, there's Nemkos. Hello, well, Nemkos, and he says, or he or she says, feels watched. Well, you're in the stream with your name and your icon just below, so.
So anyway, I suppose we better get us back to gaming, such as the stuff we tend to talk about these days. So, are you going to play Manchester? Is that still coming up?
Yep. I am actually going to play Manchester.
When is that? Is that next month, October?
It's in October, and I've booked a hotel, and I've booked a flight, and I'm coming over.
Is there anyone else going that you're aware of?
Yeah.
YouTuber-wise, I should say.
Yeah, a good buddy of mine, Custardi, was also coming over. The Highlander Wouter, he couldn't make it. So I think that's just that's the Dutch contingent. Nothing. Ooh, that's gremlins.
I'll need to be an electric bill.
Yeah. So yeah, there's not many other people from the Netherlands going, not that I know of, but yeah, it's nice to go there. I mean, I love the city of Manchester. I think I love the brickwork, the red bricks. I love the industrial background. Yeah, I just like it. I just love the north.
Hell no. Is Elise going with you?
No, this time she isn't. No. She is. No, she has too few free. What is it? Free time, free days, holidays left. So.
Okay. Well, I mean, you obviously enjoy the play events, Mark. I mean, I was down at Blackpool. I think was that Blackpool?
Yeah, we encountered each other just for a wee bit in Blackpool.
Oh, last year.
That was this year. We met this year.
Aye, as you saying, it was last year as well. No, it was me. That's right.
Yeah, no, it was just this year.
Talking to quite a few people, there's a lot of guys starting to kind of think that it's losing its appeal. It's not quite so kind of retro based.
Yeah.
I mean, I was at the one in Glasgow, and when you've been to one, they're all pretty much the sameness.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoy going along to play, the classic arcade video games. But what's your take on it? I mean, do you still enjoy them?
Well, there's the UK perspective and there's the international perspective. I think. I think in the UK, there's a lot of car booths and there's a lot of other different, very nice venues that you can.
Spoiled, actually, I think we're probably spoiled in the UK,
with a lot of great sellers. We actually in the Netherlands we have these venues as well, where mostly it's just vendors selling stuff. And what is very appealing for us for us Dutchies, for us international folk, is actually the fact that there's this whole shitload of arcade games, arcade cabs, just sitting there waiting to be played. And that's not something that you often encounter in the Netherlands. There's just not too many arcades here, and there haven't been many arcades in the past. So the number of arcade cabinets in the Netherlands is just very limited, I guess. So yeah, so that's actually quite nice. The vendors, you know, if you fly over by plane, you're not gonna score that great Amiga 500, you know, fun pack thing. You're just gonna drag it around on the plane with you. I did a couple of times. I mean, I did lug around an Acorn Electron in my backpack in my carry-on luggage, and I had actually quite a nice encounter and it was actually the first time I went to Blackpool. That was like years ago, one of the first. And well, you go to security, and you know, they said to put your iPads and whatever on the tray. So I just took out the Acorn Electron, put it on the tray, and you know, next to my iPad and iPhone, and I let it go through security. And the customs officers, they were our age, so they were like going, whoa! They really loved it, because they really stepped out of their role of being a customs officer. And they just were admiring the thing, and where did you get it, and you know, where you're heading. And I could have smuggled a ton of cocaine in that, you know, because they just didn't notice. So, but that was actually quite fun, actually quite funny. But yeah,
So, what was the speed of thing? Like in Pip, I think it's 2 dollars.
hello.
And 8 there, and that's Jack's. Like, don't lie down. No pumping, you know the rules.
Oh, Smooth MJ is here. He is here as well. He says good evening to me and you. Oh, and Nemco, he actually says, hopefully you'll recognize Jim Begley this time. Yeah, that was just crazy. I mean, that was actually with Infected Flinch. He was at the stall where Jim Begley was, and Jim Begley actually is a friend of a good friend of mine on Facebook and YouTube, and he was helping out at the computer museum stall. And I actually was wearing his Oculus VR he was one of the first to have that. And on one of the shows, I was just wearing Jim's Oculus VR, and I was playing it. And you know, I gave it back to the bearded dude and said thanks, and you know, went on my merry way. And only a year after, or only after that, actually, when people were making video and they said, Jim Begley, I was just like, oh my god, you know. Meeting one of your, you know, the guys that were huge back in the day, you know, people that made a lot of nice software that you looked up to. Turns out to be this great, humble guy with you know, with a great sense of humor and very approachable, and you know, and he's not like, you know, I'm Jim Begley, please love me, you know. He's just not at all about that. So yeah, that was actually quite.
I've not really known Jim that long. It was when I did the interview thing with Blimey, it's only Jim Bagley. I kind of got to know him. That's the first time I've spoken to him. I've spoken to him at the last few events I've been to, and when I was at the one in Glasgow, he was there, and I said, how's it going, Jim? And chatting away. And I said, how's your bomber man on the bike checks coming? Well, come round and I'll show you. And we went through the back, and he brought his laptop, and he fired it up, and he loaded up the software, and he was showing me how he does the graphics, and as you say, he's just such a nice guy. Yeah. Incredibly intelligent. What you can do with that.
Oh yeah. You know,
the code is just incredible.
Galacticus X. Hi, dude.
Hey.
Yeah, I was actually, when I was at Blackpool, I actually brought my little Theta S cam, and I was sitting in the audience. I was just holding it up.
360-degree thing?
Yeah. And he noticed that, and before his talk, and he just actually said, "Hey, is that a Theta 3S?" He's actually quite keen on that VR thing. So I actually sent him some of the files that he wanted to use. But yeah, the Theta, it's not a high resolution video thing. It takes a very nice high resolution still images, but the video is just very blocky. So yeah, it's not the best. So
there is apparently you can get something similar for the Samsung. I was going to buy it, but I realised it was £300. So I thought, nah, no bother.
Yeah, it's a bit dear, but yeah, I'm actually quite keen on VR. But I've actually upgraded my PCs. I should be able to, to plug in one of these VR sets that Bangkok Ian is actually, using.
He's got that many. Surely he can let you have a look. A good mate. That's what he was doing.
Yeah, well, I think he's enjoying both of them tremendously. I mean, he's switching back and forth between the three of them, right? I mean, he has the Oculus VR, he has the Oculus Rift, and he has the HTC Vive, I believe. Vive. Yeah.
Well, I mean, what's your take on VR? Do you think is it going to be a kind of novelty? Do you think it'll ever become mainstream?
Well, I mean, it starts out real fragmented, and I think that's the big issue I have with it. I find it, I mean, it's a bit gimmicky, and there's a lot of great games coming out for it, and I love the fact that a lot of older games are actually getting VR support as well, and you see that happening on the PC side. I just don't see that happening on the PlayStation side or the console side. It just will force you to buy a new VR version of the game, I think. But it's also fragmented. I mean, ask regular Joe about VR, and they'll know it's the goggles. Perhaps they think it's Google Glass or VR, but which one to get? It's such a I'm afraid that I'll buy the wrong one. And besides, for a lot of these implementations, they're tethered, and you're wired in to your PC. You need a huge space, with light boxes and stuff. The only one that doesn't need a huge space is I think the Oculus Rift and the Oculus VR. Yeah, I don't have the space. I mean, I don't have the space. I can't even use a Kinect in my games room because I'm too close to the TV.
Yeah, that was the very key reason I told Mac in it. You had to have about 50 meters of space, and I just didn't have the space.
Galacticus X also adds that they're actually quite pricey. I mean, they're hugely expensive. I think the Oculus VR, the phone versions of it, they're actually less expensive and perhaps more approachable for larger public. But I mean, the thing eats through the battery like crazy. I mean, and it gets very hot and you get sweaty. So, I don't hear anyone who is playing the Oculus VR talk about that. But it's very uncomfortable playing it on the same time.
I must admit, I mean, as you know, I got my weird VR thing, and I was all over it like a rash. I thought it was the best thing ever for about 2 months, and then it sat up in that shelf for the last 6 months. I actually did dig it out a couple of weeks ago, and I kind of rediscovered it. I thought this was incredible, but just it's funny, but the fact that you've actually got to take the phone out of this, you've got to put the phone in, you've got to put it on your head, you've got to make sure batteries. I just don't use it. I think it's got to be something that's cool. I
think even the ones tethered to the consoles, I don't think they're going to be a huge hit. They'll probably go the same way as the Kinect and the PlayStation Move is going. You do need to invest a lot of money. I think perhaps the Samsung thing, the Oculus VR thing. That's a dedicated thing with good cooling, proper battery, and that's just.
What's that called, Mark? What are you talking about? The thing I've got? No.
Yeah. But then the 2.0 version, the.
Sorry, you see my stomach there. Yeah, this thing. I don't know if you can actually see it because the light's going out. Yeah, I mean it's excellent. It's really good. What I would suggest to anybody that's not actually tried VR, if you happen to have a compatible phone, or even if you've got an iPhone, get something like this. £80. I can probably sell that. I could probably take that to CEX and get my money back in it. If that's your thing, then you might want to think about outlaying £2,000 for a PC plus the same again for the. I don't know how much it is for Oculus Rift. It's £600, I think it is. It.
Yeah, I think it is. So I've just that we had a question by Galacticus X that he asked if you could boost your volume, but I don't think it's possible on the iPad. I'm just
How's that?
I think that's a bit better,
Any
perhaps.
better, Mr. Galacticus? Any better?
And I've increased the volume. Yeah, we'll probably get his response about 5 minutes in 5 minutes from now.
I've got to say, I've never ever had any problems with my voice not being loud enough. Usually when I make a video, it's like I'm really loud and the other person's like a wee kitten, you can hardly hear them. So
Oi! Oi!
I've got to say though, I mean, you can keep your Hive or your Vive, whatever it's called, in your Oculus Rift. This is where it's at. We were talking.
Oh man!
Fantastic.
Oh.
Have you ever actually tried one of these before?
Yeah, I've tried them, and I've played the tennis game, and I actually really like the tennis game.
It's actually, you know what? It's actually really super impressive.
Yeah, for the time it is, but the fact that they chose red and white and black as a color scheme. Well, it probably was a high-tech thing, and perhaps even, you know, I mean, what we have today with the blue LEDs. You know, everything has a blue LED, a bright blue LED that's just obnoxious, but everything has a blue LED. There's just no other LEDs anymore, just blue. I mean, my computer glows blue, everything.
Putting that light behind you, that's blue as well.
Oh yeah, it changes around. No, but you were showing a very nice Nintendo thing, but I actually obtained my my Holy Grail that I wanted ever since I was about 8, I think, and that's actually this. It's it's the Nintendo Donkey Kong Game and Watch. Actually, the Highlander made me buy this. He was making a video on his Holy Grails and on the LCD games that he had, and I started out with this game, which is a game I actually got that. I rebought that.
What was that one, Mark? That's the one you just showed me, or that's something different?
No, it's something different. This is Lion Tamer. It's yeah. I'm just going to show you and the viewers. It's a very tiny LCD game where you are a tamer of lions, and there's 4 lions sitting on their little stools in front of their cages, and you have to whip them in. It's actually quite a fun game. Not animal friendly, but a nice game. And
I think I've actually got a parachute, an unofficial parachute that's made by the same company. I'm sure I recognise the wee kind of triangle thing.
Yeah. This is by Lieberman, Wellechy and Co. And this is from France. This is the exact same LCD game that I bought the first time. All the kids in school, all the rich kids, they had this. And the rich kids always were very obnoxious because they refused anyone to play with this.
Actually touch it.
So I mean, this is actually one of the first times that I actually held one. It uses 2 batteries, and it's actually very playable. And if you look at it, it's just a Nintendo DS. I mean, this is, you know, this
looks exactly like that.
This is 1982 Nintendo DS. And well, I've got a couple of others. This little game of octopus. Vectrex Rowley was kind enough to send that as a gift.
I remember that.
In one of our trades. So, and that's actually a real Game and Watch. And before the Nintendo store closed down, I actually got a reissued version of the Game and Watch Ball game.
Oh, right, okay. So that was made fairly recently.
Yeah, that was made fairly recently, and it's just yeah, they just used the old molds, I guess, and this is just this looks exactly like the old game, and it says a 1980 2010 on it on the back,
You see,
and it says Nintendo Club. So it's not that you can
class it as an original. Then.
sell it as a vintage version of it. No, but I mean these games. I mean we had Pong, and you know, and LCD games. That was it. You know, so I wasn't collecting them. Wasn't into collecting them because they're quite lame and they're quite, you know, limited. But at the same time, I rebought this, and I got this last week, and the wife was present when I opened it up, and there was this huge grin on my face, and I really felt excitement that I had the exact same little LCD game. You know, I saved up for this a long time, and it was just this, you know, this simple lion tamer, and then, you know, the other kids, the cool kids, were, you know, playing Donkey Kong, and I was just, you know, pretending, you know, there's cats in it, and you know, balls. And
the funny thing with these games, though, Mark, I mean, I don't know if you remember, about 2 years ago, just after I started the channel, I was at a friend's house, and do you remember Astro Wars? I don't know if you have Astro Wars.
Yeah.
It was kind of the sort of like the daddy of LCD games. It wasn't LCD, it was it LED? No, what was it called? Was it the phosphorus?
I think the phosphorus tubes. It's actually it's a fluorescent display. I think it's called fluorescent displays.
But I got one of these off my mate. He didn't want it, so I thought, oh, excellent. Then that kind of got my interest. I thought, I'm going to go on eBay, and before I know it, within a couple of months, I've got about 30 or 40 of these things. And fantastic, you know, every night going on, oh, there's another one. And I wasn't paying any big money for them. But I realised pretty quick that all these games are pretty monotonous to play. They really, even Astro Wars. But see these kind of Nintendo Game & Watches, they're all reflex. They're all, you know, you can play it for an hour, you can get better at it. They're probably better now than these older ones.
Yeah.
The older ones look now, but you wouldn't want to play it for any more than 5 minutes.
I didn't run away. But
He's gone. Where's he going?
No, this is my entire LCD game collection. This Astronev, this is a Casio game, which actually is a very cool game. My sister had it back in the day, and I often played it. And it's a shooter. And it's a horizontal shooter, and then it's I'll show you the I'll show the viewers the I'm not sure if, and perhaps you.
Yeah, I can see that. Oh yeah, cool.
So it has a directional a pad, and you have a lot of positions where you fire. So it's actually a shooter, and I really like this game, and it really is very fast. And this game you actually forget, and I think with this game also, with Donkey Kong, you actually forget that it's just such a limited game, because they did a wonderful job, you know, getting the motions right and all the positions. You know, the whole screen is filled. So yeah, but obviously with the fluorescent display also, a very limited display, but huge battery life, great battery life. So.
Although the LCD things, or whatever they're called, I don't know what they call them, the Astro Wars, they didn't last any time at all. They used to eat batteries for their lunch, you know.
yeah, crazy. So
I'll let you see. I've got a couple of these that I actually kept. Where is it?
Perhaps I should blend in an intermission, like a test screen.
Oh, here we go. Right, there's that one. Got that, and I've also got this one somewhere. There we go. Right, the only two I actually kept, and it's because of nostalgia. There's one I'm picking off.
Yeah.
When these things first came out, my mum and dad said they would buy me one, and I wanted. There was one called the Galaxy Invader 1000. It was like a big white thing, looked really nice, and I think it was 20 quid. But they let me buy this.
Oh, cool.
It's absolutely shit.
Is that with a fluorescent display, or is that?
It is. I've not got any batteries in it, so I can't really demonstrate. So I got that one. That was the very, very first one I had. And when I came to sell them, I ended up getting rid of them all. I thought I couldn't bring myself to sell this one, even though this isn't the exact version. I mean, I probably got flung out. I kept that one. Another one which I bought, which is actually really good. What's it called? Champion Racer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like, is it Turbo? Game Turbo. Left and right, and you've got the kind of gears. You can move up and down the gears.
Yeah, so you have to avoid the
But
cars.
yeah, it's just basically moving left and right, but it's actually really good. I've got a couple of these real cheapy things. It's called Game. It's a tennis game, but
Yeah, I've seen those actually. Yeah, they had them. They had them over here as well.
I've probably just forgot to fling that in the bucket. But the crazy thing is, it's been up in the loft in my attic for probably 20 years. I don't recall ever putting a battery in it, and it's actually still working. So
Crazy stuff. Yeah, I mean, like Galacticus X says, they don't have backlight, so
no.
you know the battery lasts forever.
And there's one here, Radio Shack. What's it called? Raceway.
Raceway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool. Also left and right. Yeah.
Just started it, yeah. So that's the only ones I've got left. But as you say, that's all I had.
Yeah, yeah. And now people grow up with Call of Duty, with Lara Croft, with, you know, I really wonder what it, I mean, our perspective as old dudes, you know, from the beginning.
No, sorry, I can't argue that point.
No, but I mean, I do know a lot of younger kids, also some cousins of mine and nephews, that are actually quite a lot younger. That they are really into the old games. You know, like I was into my dad's old records. You know, because music is cool. Old music can be cool as well, and it's different, and it can be enjoyed just as much. And yeah, people who are into video game development, younger people that are into video game development, sometimes they really have a keen interest in the old stuff. So, and I guess for us it was amazement and the first experience, which, you know, gives us rose-tinted glasses. For these kids, it's like something quaint, which can be learned. You know, which can be, yeah, you can learn to appreciate it, I guess. But I guess a lot of people with no technical background or no programming background, that just don't, you know, they just don't like the old stuff, or they want to collect for it, or they want to have, you know, they want to collect, or I find it hard to imagine that a person would actually like the old blocky video pack graphics, for example. It's rose tinted glasses. That's what it is.
I think for me I definitely, if I was to probably write down, record my game playing on a weekly basis, I would definitely say I play more older games than new games. It's not to say I don't love my new games. I've got a PS4, I've got an Xbox One, but I think for me, from my sort of personal circumstances, I've got a family, I've got a job, etc. The old games tick all the boxes, but I don't know. I think as you say, we were there right at the very, very, very cusp of the whole thing at the very beginning. Pong, Space Invaders, and it's hard to explain to anybody that wasn't there back in the day just how exciting it was.
Yeah.
I can remember going into my local sports centre. I used to do judo years ago.
Oh, me too. What kind of belt did you?
White. I didn't go beyond.
Oh, I did. I became quite a bit better.
But I remember going into the sports centre, and I could just remember looking to myself as I walked in. On the right hand side, there was this big, it was like a big wardrobe, and there was all these people around it, and all you could hear is boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. The drones, yeah.
Of course, the eye-catching kind of geek out, the big Space Invader.
Yeah.
It was incredible. It was like, wow, this is just phenomenal.
Especially because the Space Invader cab, you know, the mirror that they used, and the fact that, you know, the graphics were actually floating in front of the backdrop. I mean, you know, no other game topped that. It was almost like a hologram, you know.
that was obviously deliberate, wasn't it?
Yeah, of course it was. It was a way to make it more interesting. I guess if they hadn't done that, they just put it on a black and white tube, it would have been a lot less interesting. And now they had this, you know, this super fancy cap, and especially the bassy sound, you know, of the thumbs that you hear.
Yeah, you knew you were never going to beat it.
Yeah,
it was a question of how long could you survive.
Yeah, the attract mode, that was. Yeah, I mean, yeah, in arcade games, I vividly remember seeing Donkey Kong for the first time, and really amazed at the animation of the barrels that would roll down, and the definition in the monkey, and you know how Mario would walk around, and how the hammers looked, you know, and how the animation was and the sound. I was just mesmerized by that, and actually I think seeing those images really made me want to go into computer graphics for the longest time.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be a computer graphics person, and it's only because I mean it was either medicine or that, you know, computer science, and yeah. Some say I lucked out because I got I got it was some sort of lottery almost, because there was just a limited amount of spaces available for medical school, and yeah, you really had to be in some sort of lottery. So I won. So that's why I ended up being a medical person, pulling a lot of night shifts. If I knew that in advance. Well, I mean, they do provide you with some solitary time, and I've been playing No Man's Sky during a night shift, and that's actually quite fun. If you don't get cold and you don't have to go out much, then it's actually quite nice.
You played that when you're at work, though?
No. Well, a lot of my shifts, they're actually me on the phone and junior doctors calling in and asking my advice, and so I don't have to go in all the time.
You can just work from home then.
Yeah. So yeah, winter is coming, says Galacticus X. Yeah, perhaps the steady flow of downpour of these Matrix characters down the screen makes him think of a snowstorm. I'm not sure.
So what do you make of this what's it called again? No Man's Land? What's it called again?
No Man's Sky, I believe.
No Man's Sky.
Yeah. Well, of course it's super hyped, and a lot of people, you know, expected quite a different game. I think quite a few people thought it would be something like Destiny, or a mix of Destiny and Elite Dangerous, which it is not, you know, and it's more of a Minecraft inventory-based exploration dungeon crawler like game than it is. I mean, it does have a Minecraft vibe to it, without the building aspects of it, but the exploration, and I love the exploration. I mean, in Minecraft, I like to you know, to go on a trail and just go do a walkabout. And you know, a lot of people, they just love to go, you know, claustrophobic mining in the depths of the. I don't like that at all.
Yeah. So what? I watched Chris Shank. He did a live stream of it a couple of weeks ago, and I watched it for half an hour, and I thought to myself, what are you actually doing? He was just walking about. He wasn't really doing very much.
Yeah.
That the whole kind of.
Well, you have to scan for resources. Mr. Stellabog's head. He wants to know which number to ring for medical advice, and he's doing a brain transplant. And yeah, well, you know, stick to your Mega Drive and Neo Geo or something. We have some excellent cathode ray tube.
2 paracetamol, hot water ball, Ellicott, mate. That's what my mum always told me.
Yeah. No, but I mean, it's a nice game, No Man's Sky. I've played it quite a bit, and but it's not the hyped thing that the developers made it out to be. I mean, they said it was multiplayer at some point, which it is not. I mean, they use a central database for the for the naming and inventorying, making an inventory of all the all the discoveries of all the people. And actually, one of the developers, they go on about the landscape being procedurally generated. And actually, there's this clip where the developer is sitting in front of one of these procedurally generated planets, which actually turned out to be a heavily designed, scripted planet made by an artist. Of course, the items shown are possible in the game, but it being procedurally generated, it's just going to be.
What is down the rabbit hole? Kevin, he was asking me about procedurally generated. What does that mean? Is that like randomly generated on the fly?
Well, not really. I think random is just a very basic form of procedurally generated. No, you should perhaps imagine it like a set of rules. That you have a set of rules for a planet or for animals, and these rules can have random values. You can say, well, if the planet is red, then the plants have to be orange because no other color would suit. So you make all the vegetation you make of a nice looking ensemble, and the animals, well, they have to adhere to certain formulas as well. Basically, you could say formulas describing the world and the creatures inside, the places inside. So procedural per se, says Nemco's. Yes, yeah, and it's a big word. Basically, it's just fancy random generation.
Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of thinking it's more a technical demo than an actual game. Would you think?
I think it's an indie game. I think it should it should be a $14.99 indie game, which with a lot of potential. I think the Sony marketing, and the Sony managers. I mean, they saw the potential of the game. They saw how it looked. I mean, it does look like a different game. It does look like a fancy, even better Elite Dangerous. And I think it's just hubris. The people from Sony, they thought they had some gold on their hands, and a little tiny 15 person developer studio, they just thought, well, let's go for it. We'll make a nice game. And their studio got flooded, and they had a lot of misfortune, and they turned out a pretty good game. But it's not the game changer that a lot of people made it out to be. So let me see. Galacticus X says a good metaphor is Lego construction. Essentially, you generate stuff based on some basic blocks. Yeah, that's true. The rules are you have to stick the Lego blocks on top of each other with a little knobs, and you can't do that with the non-knob, non-sticky side. And Minecraft is also procedurally generated. The way that the biome is generated is by some definition and random formulas. To be very, very crude. Putting Bill Bailey in the ads was a stroke of genius, though. Yeah, I guess so.
In the ads,
yeah.
Even in YouTube, I'll take it off.
But also on in different media. Mr. Stellabox had is No Man's Sky halfway towards the game? Is No Man's Sky halfway towards the game we're all dreaming about then?
What is a perfect game?
For a lot of people it's different things. For a while I thought Elite Dangerous would be my perfect game. I loved Elite back in the day. I downloaded and installed it on my PC, but the learning curve and the grind is just so tough. And I like pretty visuals. I like to be able to walk around. If Elite Dangerous had No Man's Sky bolted on, that would basically be my perfect.
With each planet having interactivity of the Grand Theft Auto 5, you can walk about and drive cars. That would be the ultimate.
Yeah. Yeah, just a virtual.
Lifetime, sadly.
Is that, let me see. And Galactus, I just can't play a game anymore with less than 18 quintillion levels. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen Galacticus X review on No Man's.
I watched about half of it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I thought it was a very nice video. So if you guys haven't seen Galacticus X's video, I mean, you see his little name in the discussion. Please go check him out because it's great. And Mr. Stellabox had also, I mean, he did a wonderful live stream. Have you seen his live stream? He did a test, excellent visuals and great sound quality. So I hope he's going to do some more streaming. Galacticus X, Mr. Stellabox says, I prefer 4 hours gameplay at most. Well, you can go for Journey or Flower or that new Abzu game. Have you seen the latest Star Citizen trailer? Unreal. Actually, I don't watch any trailers at all, neither for games nor for movies. I'm not sure if it's actually a movie or a game, actually. Perhaps I'm just, Mr. Stellabox had Grand Theft Auto meets Star Wars. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, I think it is. I mean, if you mix it all together, that's going to be a pretty good game.
I mean, it's only a matter of time. I mean, we were talking about Paul. That would be 1979, something like that, maybe slightly before that.
76.
I'm not going to argue with you.
75.
30 years on. 30 years? 40 years?
40 years.
40 years on.
40 bloody 40 years on.
Look how quick we've moved from that to that. I'm quite sure it probably won't be in our life. Well, maybe when I'm 70 years old, which isn't that far away. You might have something like that. But it's just, you look at like Grand Theft Auto 5, that still blows my mind. Is probably the most technically astonishing game.
Yeah. Well,
what they do is just incredible.
I'm quite keen on exploration and survival. So I also downloaded and installed Ark. I'm not sure if you. No. Ark, it's a survival game. It's in early access, and basically you're thrown onto this planet, which is obviously generated by some higher beings, and you wake up as a simpleton with a big piece of technology in your arm, and you basically have to survive in a jungle type world on a beach where you have to craft, where you have to hunt and gather, and you basically meet dodos, dinosaurs. But the visuals, they're just so amazing that it really, even if it's not VR, it's just so immersive that I really like those type of games. And but often they're a grind, and often they're just very difficult. And a first-person game that I really like is a scripted game like Half-Life, the original Half-Life 2. I love that. You knew what you were supposed to do, and there were like puzzle-like, fighting-like sequences. I love that, and of course it's totally different from a sandbox game, but sandboxes are cool, but they also have their limitations. Let me see who's there. Cadillacs and dinosaurs. Hi, Ellen. Oh, Castardo is here.
Hello.
Hello.
We were just talking about you.
Yeah, we were talking about going to Manchester.
The funny thing is, you're talking about Half-Life. Half-Life is probably it's up there in one of my top 10 favourite games. It's an astonishing game. I think the mark of a good third-person game like that, or a first-person game, it's actually on rails almost, but you feel like you're playing a sandbox game. It kind of feels open, but you're not really.
Yeah,
No, it gives the impression that you can go this way, but you can only go that way. Like you're just going down.
Well, I think in a way I prefer to be guided along a bit because I'm a bit of a completionist. You know, I'm a bit, you know, I'm just going to grind for all the stuff, and then it's not fun. So if I have a, and that's actually an option that you can activate in No Man's Sky also. That you, I mean, you can activate a red orb that shows you what to do. You can choose not to and just be on your merry way. But I like a bit of. Michelle Knight is also here. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
For watching. Half-Life 1 felt good. Half-Life 2 felt scripted. Yeah, well, yeah, but Half-Life 1 was scripted too. I mean, you did have a certain number of tasks to complete. But Half-Life, the original Half-Life, man, that was scary. That really was very scary. I loved it. Yeah, frantically, I remember, you know, frantically running around, and oh, yeah, that was just amazing. Very great.
The massive game as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It took me a long time to actually play it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's well, yeah, and you know, I mean, I don't mind shooting a gun in first-person perspective. You know, I love the Halo, the original Halo. It was something new. It was something different, and also Halo has a story, so that makes it okay. You know, and there's also quite a few others that have a story or have some sort of script. But you also have like these great, I always forget what it's called, but you have this crazy game with crazy physics that really looks great. It recently had a second or a third release where you just is
that the Just Cause?
Just Cause, yeah. I just love that. Yeah, I just love that kind of physics, you know, just over the top crazy stuff. But it's also scripted, you know, you have to perform certain things.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think perhaps I find sandboxes often still a bit limited. You know, I mean, even Grand Theft Auto 5, it's just a city, you know, with a bit of land around it, and what is it? A flight? What is it? An airport. Nothing much, you know. It's these sandbox racing games like Paradise City and a lot of the others, Need for Speed. It's a city, you know, and nothing bigger.
Yeah, and it's funny how people think, you know, games have evolved so much. Grand Theft Auto 5, when you actually break it down into like the tasks, it's like chase and catch up with somebody.
Yeah.
Get to point B and kill somebody. It's just very, very simple little things. But it's actually that aspect of these games that actually puts me off playing. I'll start playing it for a bit, and within half an hour I'm like, right, where do I go next? And before I know it, I'm just doing something stupid like nicking a motorbike and diving into the sea. You know, I just get getting bored.
Yeah.
Can't bother following the sort of like the individual things.
Let's check on the comments. Let me see. Half-Life, Galactic. Galactic says, I feel like the stream is turning into the Fellowship of the Ring. We're off to Mordor. Oh man, MS Knight, Alan, you're coming in a little quiet. Not a complaint.
Oh no, that's a first. I've never heard that before.
It's you're on the iPad, man. You're on that big honking iPad Pro thing. You know, you're being punished by it.
Mark, can you hear me okay, Mark? You can obviously hear me all right.
I can hear you great.
Yeah.
Let me see. Amiga Old School. Wow, nice one, fellas.
How you doing, Adam?
Galacticus X says The Incredible Machine. Yeah, that was quite a nice game, but I'm not sure where it ties in. Galacticus X says LOL. And Ellen, you're getting darker and darker too. Yeah, I guess you didn't pay your
I could actually stand in the chair and try and fix this light, but I might end up falling.
Yeah.
Good second. Don't want to fall and break my neck. I think it's a loose bolt. Hopefully.
Night is falling in Scotland, says Costardo. Well, you just don't fall with it then.
I think it's in properly.
Wow. I'm not sure if you have neighbors. Perhaps they think you are transmitting an SOS and they swat you or something.
No, I think I don't know what's going on there.
Ah, that's what Galactic Sec says. You talked about physics at some point. That's why I brought up the Incredible Machine. Yeah, that's true. Excellent example.
Tell you what, hang on a wee second. Right, you go out because my dog needs the torch.
Ah,
I'll get a wee torch, that one. How's that?
oh, that's well, yeah. It's interesting. Yeah, it's like the Blair Witch Project almost.
There we go, that's better, eh? Is that better?
Mr. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Working for next
Mr. Stellarbox head says, "I seen the flashing."
You can actually make it flash this time you do it.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Well, you guys don't live that far away, do you?
That doesn't matter. That'll do. You don't really need to see me anyway.
It's time for one of those new fancy LED bulbs.
Well, I've only had that 15 years. I'm sure it can last a bit longer. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Aye.
Oh, by the way, I managed to complete my my piquet.
Ah, could do that. Very nice. Can I hold it up again, Mark? Have you done a... I've not. Very nice.
Yep.
Hey, the light's on.
Cool. So if I hold up my piquet, then the light goes on.
Must be a loose wire, I think.
Yeah. No, but I mean the guys, the Pimeroni, Pimeroni. It's a Sheffield-based British firm. They were actually very cool about sending communication and sending replacements and stuff. And I still have to send back one of the sticks. And it turned out to be a double fault actually, because the board, the piquet, it comes with a little Arduino board, and this board actually was a faulty one. Whoa! Basically, this piquet board it mimics a USB keyboard, and it also has an amp for the
I think
speakers.
that's what I've got now, and actually, I think it's a 5K. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've seen actually some people left someone left a comment on my piquet video, my build video, and he posted a link to an iPad 2 screen with a driver board that actually would fit in that piquet also. And I think that's what you have in your arcade machine, an iPad 2 screen.
That part of it was already built. The one my friend built.
Yeah. But it's a bigger sized screen, so you know I might go for that. But it's like 130 or 113 or 103. I'm not sure dollars. So it's it's something I might go for. But
So what size is your screen at the moment, Mark?
I think it's 7 or 8 inches, I believe.
Ah, right, okay, yeah.
So
probably a touch on the small side. It's fine for probably horizontal games,
Yeah.
but if you want to play like vertical shooters, it's probably
I was playing Juno first, and it's doable. I mean, it's a very nice, bright, clear screen, and what also is very nice is the fact that it runs on one power supply, because the small screen gets to be powered by the Pi, and you really have to make in the boot you have to actually enable to force it to output to HDMI, because the screen powers on the moment the Pi powers on, and then the Pi defaults to composite video because it can't detect the screen, because it's just, you know.
Aye.
So you have to force the Pi into. That's the only thing that you have to fiddle around with. And Picade, I mean, it just emulates the keyboard. And you can configure it, and you know MAME runs great, and it's actually fantastic. So I even got Dreamcast running full speed on the Raspberry Pi. That I found so amazing, that just Dreamcast runs on the Raspberry Pi 3. I didn't know it was that powerful.
Yeah, Yeah, I must admit, I think I tried Crazy Taxi, and it kind of worked alright, but I'm a bit of a stickler if it starts glitching a wee bit, I'm like, nah, take it off. That's why I've kind of just gone for the sort of MAME and the kind of the more basic.
Yeah.
basic tools.
These are the ones that I still have to send back.
So were these faulty? And
yeah, this one was faulty, and this one they shipped, and it actually is missing one of the. It's actually missing one of the little tabs. It just isn't there. It just broke off, and this one is faulty as well. So, and these are zippy sticks.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
And I mean they're quite good, but somehow quality control isn't the best. And they didn't have it happen before, but yeah, you know, ship it to the Netherlands and crazy stuff like that happens.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Have you used it much? Have you been playing it much? Or is it one of these things you build it and then it goes in a cupboard?
No. I have. It's I just put it on the I put it on my desk, and I played actually quite a bit because I like the arcade controls. I've been playing quite a bit of Miss Pac-Man. I've been playing Donkey Kong, Gyrus, Time Pilot. Yeah, I've been having a blast. I really have been playing it a lot, but perhaps it's a phase. I mean, you are the proud owner of an arcade cab like this yourself.
Yeah.
Is it collecting dust?
I've got to say, I mean, I've got my big name cab there, which it's not been on for quite a while, but probably the controls in the little piecade thing is actually the best controls I've got. It's I've mentioned them before. A guy, Mike, one of my friends, he builds all these bespoke kind of controllers, and he buys the parts from this arcade supplier. They're absolutely phenomenal. The controls, the joystick, the buttons. In fact, he actually contacted me to say that, I mean, I've done a few reviews of the stuff that he's bought me, and I saw that I've bought from him, and he's actually said that he wants to build me a 4-way joystick game. And I said,
Cool.
Well, you don't have to do that, but he's adamant that he wants to do that. So I said, well, I would love a Donkey Kong controller, just with the up and down left.
Yeah.
And right. It makes a massive difference to playing these games.
It does because these zippy sticks, they actually use 4 micro switches, and the diagonals are actually reached by, you know, pressing 2 of the switches at the same time. But it does make a huge difference. And there's actually there have been arcade controllers that had like 32 or 16 micro switches or even more, I believe.
Purpose of that?
Well, angular control, you know, with the dual. I mean, it mimics an analog stick.
Yeah, because there's so many sensor things.
Ah, cool. Custardo, Galacticus X wanted to know where I bought it, and Custardo put a fake URL in with spaces, and well, YouTube accepts that. Yeah, you have to delete the spaces, but yeah. Yeah, and there's also some Dutch shops that have great, and Belgium shops that have great arcade products, but also a lot of great British shops. And I really loved building it, that little piecade cabinet. And yeah, I mean, I will never be able to get a real arcade cabinet in a house. I mean, I love my wife dearly, but that's just something that will not happen ever. I would love to have one of these Sega, you know, City. What is it? Space Candy City. What is it?
Was it one of these kind of jammer boards?
Astro City. Yeah, Astro City. Yeah, these, you know, vertical shooters. I would love to have an Astro City Sega arcade cab with the one that Cojones Dolores actually has. Did he have 1 or 2? I think he had 2 or 1. I'm not sure, but a huge vertical, you know, Dodonpachi on that screen. Whoa.
Is that a candy cab or something they call them? And they're kind of really popular in Japan, aren't they?
Yeah, I think it's an Astro City Sega candy cab or something like that.
Aye.
And they actually sell them with 486 or Pentium-based arcade emulation boards, which I probably run a version of MAME or something. And they also take the Jammer boards. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would love to have a couple of arcade boards, you know, just instead of the books, you know, like pull out an arcade board, put it in the Gem arcade. Perhaps I should put one in the study. I mean, if it's in the study, I'm free to do whatever I want. But getting it up the stairs, just wow. And besides, it would be a ton. It would be a lot. I mean, you'd have to do a lot of maintenance on it, I guess.
The thing about it, one of my mates, Tony Temple, Tony's got a collection of cabs. He's actually got a really good website, Arcade Blogger he's called. He's only started doing it recently, but he's doing really well with that. But he's got a lot of cabs. I think he's got about 10 cabs. And he says you don't get a cab, an original cab, unless you're prepared to work in it constantly.
Yeah, and that's nice. I mean, you know, there's people who like to tinker on motorbikes. And I wouldn't mind tinkering with the cabs, but I really before I would ever get a cab, I want to know how to work around CRTs. You know, I really would want to know my stuff.
Poof.
Yeah. Just you go poof, or the CRT goes implode. You break the neck or something. You know, it's just.
See, Mark, just before I'm actually meeting to watch my time, and I'm conscious.
Yeah. It's. I think we're running about an hour and. About an hour. So I guess.
People are actually watching now. I can't actually see it. Have we bored them all yet?
Well, Mr. Novabug actually enters the room.
Hey.
Hey. Well, yeah, but without you doing, with me doing the stream alone, it's no fun. So yeah, we'll just have to call it quits, I guess.
I thought about trying one of these myself, but I can guarantee it'll be me myself sitting with nobody else.
Yeah.
Feeling like a bit of a dick, but anyway. See, your cab, Mark, have you got any kind of artwork on it?
Well, I haven't. No, it's just the standard stuff. But I have a lot of room to put some artwork on it.
Have you seen my artwork?
No, I haven't. Perhaps I have, but I don't remember actually.
Well, I got the. I actually bought Tony. My mate Tony actually gave me. He gets artwork from this guy, so it's 15 quid per side. So I've got.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's Space Invaders for you.
Not a sides, obviously that. But my mate Mike actually see the bit at the front.
Cool. Yeah.
He actually printed that using a bubble jet printer.
This is the.
There we go. Before and after.
Yeah.
But yeah, that part of the front there, Mark.
That's nice.
That. Sorry.
Yeah, it's nice. Yours is nicer.
But yeah, that bit at the very front, that was actually printed on a bubble jet printer.
Is it?
Some kind of, yeah, really. I mean, it doesn't look any different.
No.
Professional.
Wow.
And in that little bezel, that was £6. See the little bezel thing here.
Yeah, and that has a little light in there.
Sorry.
Does it have a little light in there? Cool.
Probably knock it back on again.
Yeah, but it was, yeah, we can see it. We can see it well. Yeah.
You can't see me again. Is it going to come on? Hey. Excellent. But yeah, it just kind of helps kind of finish it off. Gives it a good look. So I better call it a day.
Yeah, you know, if anyone else wants to join the chat, I might continue in it, and I have to change the title a bit. But no, I guess, you know, I have to pull a shift tomorrow.
We need to get this in a couple of weeks' time. Make it a monthly thing, something like that.
Yeah.
I was trying to think. I mean, obviously there's two fat bastards. I was thinking, like, I don't know, Mr. Tall and Mr. Small, or two good-looking guys. I don't know. What do you think, guys?
The bald dude and the one who still has hair. The follically challenged and the one with the follicles.
Hey, listen, guys, I need to shoot. I need to go. I promised my daughter I'm going to play Left 4 Dead, so
yeah,
I'm away to do that just now. So thank you very much for watching. Nice talking as usual, Mark.
Yeah, and I guess I'm going to head off myself because I have a shift tomorrow. And so thanks all for watching, and we'll catch you guys later in a different video. And I might actually do it again with you, Alan.
Yeah.
and perhaps with some others if they are keen on, you know, just hanging out and talking. And it's nice to share it with people. I mean, it's just talking, us talking, and it's cool to hang out. So, nighty night.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for watching. Bye bye.
Bye.